Hello there, my name is El Nacho, and I'm gonna be running Freedom Planet. I'm gonna run adventure mode as Carol. Now, the reason I'm going with adventure mode is that it's because there's a bug that lets you skip the first two stages by skipping a cutscene at a certain point. So right now I have to go through this cutscene. I'll explain how this works once I do it. So basically, as soon as she's going right, I skip scene, and the forward momentum is kept from the cutscene, so I just pretty much skip the first stage, and I'm in this place is part of a cutscene, and once I hit the end of the wall, I'm starting. I can just skip to the next stage, and I'm in stage 3, 14 Night. So the way Carol works is she uses a bike to go fast. The bike has only 3 hits, so you have to be careful, but the health resets every screen or every time I pick another gas can. And I just went through those dragons with this game. That's cool. Anyway. So Carol has two forms, so to speak. As I've said, she can either be in a bike or she can be on foot. Normally it's better to fight on foot. That way you don't get hit with your bike, and you don't risk losing your bike. And she is way better at combat. So basically the bike is just to go from point A to point B faster. That's the first screen done. Just go through here. Something you'll see me doing a lot is something you'll see me doing a lot is boosting all the time, so I can keep up the speed. And if I boost at the right time, I can actually boost forward from a wall. Now that I go through all of this, coming up, there's a trick we call the second wrong warp. It's the I only do this one because Carol can't do the first one. Basically, I just pause buffer so I can stay in the roof, and at the end I turn around and boost, and I missed it. Good. Anyway. So normally I'd skip all of this with the wrong warp, but since I missed it, I have to go through the stage as normal. It's not that bad. Except I kind of don't remember most of this because I usually reset by this point. Okay, there we go. So here's the first mini-boss. I'm just gonna drive through those bombs. And here's the reason why it's better to fight without the bike. This is what we call the wild claw combo. And that's the mini-boss. Basically, something you'll see me doing a lot when I'm in combat is I roll and then jump and attack at the same time. That's called the moon jump glitch. Basically, if you do that, the game gets confused and thinks you're holding the jump input the whole time, so it gives you the max altitude without having to hold the button. For the other characters, that's actually bad. For Carol, it's good because I can get more wild claws in, which is the best way of getting DPS with her. So this is the mall. Nothing much to say. It's a mall with a lot of things shooting at me for some reason. In a mall, a public place, or whatever. So yeah, as I've mentioned before, Carol's bike has 3 hits. Every time you get a screen transition, those hits gets healed. Or if I pick another gas can halfway through, it kills those hits too. If I get hit 2 times, I'm fine. But if I get hit a 3rd time, I lose the bike. And we don't want that, because Carol is very slow without her bike. So here's the second mini-boss. Same deal with the first one, just wild claw it until it stops moving. And we're about to reach the actual boss. So this is Robo Panther. I'm gonna attempt to do what we call the Fast Panther. Just basically do as much damage as possible to get the first phase down. And I did it, so now he'll do what we call the bullet rain. No, not the bullet rain. That's actually what I'm trying to avoid. He'll do the laser sweep, which allows me to get more hits in. And this thing that I'm doing, these are called wild kicks. In the previous version of the game, you couldn't double jump after wild kicking, so this boss was way harder to deal with. Also, in this boss, the bike is scripted, so I can actually the bike is actually invincible, which you'd think is good, but it really isn't, because the world record holder tested this out, and it's actually faster to do without the bike. But what can you do? So that's Fortnite done. And now, since I'm playing on adventure mode, I have to skip every single cutscene. There are some cutscenes that I can't skip. Okay, so we're moving on to Sky Battalion. This stage is extremely hostile for Carol runners, and there's one reason. Actually, two reasons. I'm gonna do a restart here to reset those ships. That way I don't have to wait for them to get into position. And as you may have noticed, resetting actually takes a life away. But it doesn't really matter. So the problem with this stage is that there's only one bike pickup in the entire stage. You have to keep it alive throughout the entire stage. You know, you might be thinking that it's not that bad because the bike heals every screen. I'm gonna show you why it's a problem right about now. Those things. You saw that I got hit twice from it. If I would have gotten hit one more time from those like bullet things, I would have lost a bike. And that's the main reason why Sky Battalion is so annoying to run as Carol, because of those three. They're called DNA cannons. Those three DNA cannons are placed in such a way that it's near damn impossible to not get hit. And if you get caught by the barrage, your bike's dead. So fortunately that didn't happen, so we're going to the fire ship. And now you'll notice I'm not resetting anymore. If I reset, I lose the bike. But normally if I didn't have the bike, I would just reset there to get the ships into position. But with the bike has enough speed to actually jump over the whole jump, so there's no need to wait for them anyway. And now it's a good time to talk about shields. In normal, these shields take 2 hits. There, right there, I just lost that shield. That was the wood shield, which is pink. That one absorbs the health pickups, that are the red pedal things. This yellow one is called the Earth, I think it's the Earth shield. Basically it attracts crystal shards that really have no use, to be honest. They're just a score, and they can be used to get more lives. But they're not really a currency. Actually, they do have a use. They actually fill up your bar faster, but Carol doesn't need a bar. Doesn't need any kind of bar management. The other character Lilac actually needs them, but Carol doesn't. Now I have the metal shield. This makes me immune to spikes except those. These specific spikes that are falling down, they don't count. But these ones are okay. Yeah, it also makes me immune to electric attacks. I can just jump like that because of the shield, which is good. Then here we see you'll see why the shield's so important. You saw that I actually got hit by one of those projectiles, but since they're electric, I didn't get damaged. And now we're done with the 3 ships, so now it's the end boss. And just like the third mini boss, this boss is actually a joke with the metal shield, because his entire attacks, aside from those sweeps, are electric. So that blue sphere, I can just jump through it. Basically, I have to do this 5 times. The 3rd time he'll be invincible, but he does that. So I can just get in position and wild kick through pretty much all of them. and then I have to wait for all the sweeps to go by. I only need to do this 2 more times. And you know you're almost done with the boss because the weak spots turn from green, what is it, blue to red, like that. He was about to do a move that actually pushes you, but I didn't let him. That move actually, it's very annoying because you can't outrun it. So I was very lucky to be in a good position to hit it before it started pushing me. And that's Sky Battalion. Now we just skip this next cutscene. And now it's Jade Trick. The good thing about this stage is that it starts you off with a bike. The only stage in the entire game that starts you off with a bike, which is very nice. And since I kept the shield from the previous stage, I have extra survivability with the bike. So I can just go through all of here without worrying. Now the good thing about oh, there goes the shield. Oh. The shield doesn't get regenerated between stages, so if I got hit once with the shield, I got hit once with the shield in the previous one. So I only had 1 hit. But it doesn't really matter. I can just wild kick. The good thing about the wild kicks is that it actually turns you invincible while you do it. So I can actually wild kick through spikes, which is very useful in a couple stages, including this one. Carol can use those jump pad boosts to go into certain areas, and I just pretty much keep going back and forth in that screen by just doing that, which is very nice. So here we have these plants things that I can just use as platforms. They usually go up when you stand on them, but I can't wait for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so here's the mini boss of this stage. It's called Mira. And she does way too much damage. And if you take too long, as you saw after the first phase, so to speak, of her, if you take too long to damage her, she actually spawns a shield, so you have to hit it 3 times before you can damage her again. 2 times, sorry. But if you're fast enough, as you saw, you can actually not let her spawn a shield. But if you have very bad timing, you can. It's happened before, but sometimes she spawns more than 1 shield if you time it poorly. But it's very rare. Even if you got phases without her spawning a shield, it won't happen more than twice. And that's the entire submarine. That's a joke apparently, and we just keep going. Here I can just jump through here and get up all the way here. Normally I have to go all the way back to the right and then back to the left, but I can just do that. I'm gonna pick this water shield. Water shields lets you breathe underwater, which is not important at this stage. But I believe I got hit once with my other shield, so I might as well keep this. So now I'm gonna do the safe strat where I just keep boosting into this wall and going over and over again. It's faster to chase him around, but this is the safest way. And now I have to destroy the windshield of that chopper. And that's it, that's J3 done. 3:35 is actually one of the best times I've gotten lately. It's not my PB, but it's actually pretty good. So this run, even though I missed the Fortnite run warp, this run is going pretty okay. So this is one of the cutscenes I can skip, so I'll just mash through to the dialogue. And now I can skip it. So this is Trap Hideout, probably the stage with the most annoying beginning, because those lasers normal, as I said before, you can wall kick through anything. Those lasers you can't. If I try to wall kick through them, I get hit, and when I get hit, it's basically a stun lock, and those are very annoying. Like that, it just stops me. And there are so many. This is the worst spot to get not soft locked, stun locked. And as you can see, it even pushed me backwards sometimes. It's very annoying. But the lasers are done. There are no more lasers in this stage, so now I just need to kill this thing. I guess that counts as a laser, but it didn't matter. So now here you're gonna see me restarting here. That's called the timer freeze. I can keep moving in this stage without the timer going. Since we use in-game time, we use this to save time. Now the reason I'm going up here instead of going as fast as possible to the left, to the right, is because I need this spike, and stepping on those spikes, surprisingly, is not part of the strat. So if anyone's watching this for reference, don't do that. Also, I forgot to mention, this game doesn't have contact damage on most enemies, which is nice. I can just run through enemies instead of having to worry about getting hit by them. And this is the mini-boss of this stage. What I'm doing here is using the game's physics to boost myself with the slope here, to get more air momentum, not air momentum, air time, and I can land more wild claws. If I can actually land them, that'd be nice. There we go. And that's I was supposed to go through there, but I mistimed it. And that was the mini-boss. I'm using these jump pads to go through here. I believe there used to be a skip around here, but I think that got patched like 2 patches ago. So now we have to go through the station as normal. I'm trying to avoid those springs because it slows me down, because I keep going up and down. And we're near the end boss. So what I'll be doing here is the boss has his hitbox here, so I can double jump at him 4 times. If I do any more damage, he'll become invincible. Now I have to deal with 99 ninjas, and you'll see why I hit him 4 times there. And yes, these are ninjas in bikes, don't question. I don't even bother anymore. Okay, so that's all of them. So now the boss should spawn. He'll get hit damaged, and I can just do this. I can just do this. And that's the boss. And that was Trap Hideout. Now here comes a cutscene that I can't skip either, so I'll just mash through the text again. There we go. Now I can skip the cutscene. And this is my least favorite stage in the entire game. I seriously hate this stage because it has a very annoying skip that I hate doing, but it's pretty much mandatory at this point. And you'll soon see it because it's at the very start of the stage. I need to go through here, take this up. Alright, the skip's around here. I just took it all the way to the right. Right here. I have to wait for a specific platform, which is that one. And then I have to jump here, and I didn't get it. I only go for it once, because if I go more times I'm just wasting time. But it lets me just skip all of this that I'm doing. Because the game pushes me all the way up. And it puts me above the stage, so I can just keep going right and Basically, I would have been done like about 20 seconds ago with this screen, but I have to go all the way back now. Just gonna grab this shield. So yeah, if I had gotten this skip, I would have been done with the screen in like 30 seconds. So now you see why that skip's very important, but it's very finicky and I hate it. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just abusing the wild kick invincibility frame, so I can just be a moron and not do it right. But normally I'm able to just go through there like normal without taking damage. Now I'm gonna reset here to despawn those guys, so I have to worry about getting shot and losing all my speed. Now here's a save that's actually very easy to do. I just need to get this box up there. There we go, and I just need to walk up, and that's it. Now I can just walk all the way to the right and finish with the screen. Also, you may have noticed I don't have a bike. This stage doesn't have a bike for the first half of the entire stage, which is another reason why I don't like this stage. I'm just gonna take the keycard from that squid thing. No need to worry about it. And I will go down here, open this. There's some health on the left, but I'm full health, so I don't need to worry about that. And here's the mini boss. So this is Syntax, which I like to call not GLaDOS, because she's called no GLaDOS. And that's the first phase of the mini boss. And that's the second phase of the mini boss, and we're done. Now I'm getting chased by lava. That's not good, so I'm just gonna grab this bike and boost all the way to the end. Now I forgot to mention, but the way the game works is, as you notice, every time I boost, the bar goes down. If I hold the boost and I'm in the air, for the entire duration of for the entire time that the bar is going down, I have full control in the air. So that's so I'm using that to turn. If I can just do this, I can just go left and go all the way right like that. It's very useful, and that's what I do to get these front boosts. That was a very bad example. Anyway, I had to hold the shield there, so I can just I didn't have to worry about that, but I can just go through here. And no need to worry about getting hit once. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm hitting more. And there we go. The wild kicks actually I use the same, not the wild kicks, the boost mechanics that I told you about. I use that to fuck. And that's why I hate thermal base. There goes my bike. One mistake, there goes my bike. Cool. Anyway, as I was saying, I use those boost mechanics I said about to not get pushed by the water, and it let me just go down without any problems. And it lets me skip a whole one of those going back and forth sections of the stage. So now you see why I don't like not having bike. It's so slow by comparison. But at least I had wall climb, so any vertical stages are not much of a problem. And now here I'm gonna show something that's called the fade out skip. Normally when you change you go through a transition, it starts going black and then it fades back into the stage. The timer is going throughout the entirety of that, so if we skip that by doing what I just did, we actually save a little bit of time. And you know, when speedrun, every little helps. And another reason why I hate this stage, this boss attacked with stun locks. The entire gimmick of this boss is stun locks. It's very easy to die to this boss if you're not in the right spot. Especially if you're playing melee, which has even less health. And that's thermal base. Fuck this stage, I hate it. And now we're going to a shmup section. which is just there for, I don't know, variety, I guess. I'll just skip. Normally we don't get this tutorial, kind of. Yeah, it's just wasting my time, to be honest. But now there's the thing. If you're playing classic, you have to deal with that dialogue. And so now what I'm doing here is I'm holding right. You see the distance up there is 6 kilometers and it's going down. If I hold right, it goes down faster. If I stop holding right, it goes a bit slower. So I want to be holding right the entire time. There's a sweet spot that I know that there it is. I can just hold their fire button here and go and hold right, and I can just complete it without any problems. Occasionally shooting the flamethrower. But there's really nothing much to say here. It's just smart perception. Oh no, I got hit again. Oh no. Alright, we're almost done. Once that reaches 0, I have to deal with the boss, and after that the stage actually starts. There we go. So there she is, Syntax again. She touches that big ass thing that shoots lasers. I can just keep doing this and throwing fire and fireworks at it, and it's dead. So that was the smart section. And now the stage begins. I'm just gonna grab that shit right off the bat, and I'm gonna miss the pounce. I forgot to mention, this game has a very big problem with inputs. Due to the way the game handles inputs, there's a very high chance of the game dropping it, especially jump inputs, which is annoying for every character. There's no one's safe from them. It can cause you to miss a jump, or in the case of Carl, it can actually just outright ruin your combo, which is not good. So now that I have this bike, I can just use the boost right here. And yeah, it's just another stage. This one is particularly long, but it's actually a fun stage. When starting out, these stages can be a little bit daunting because of how big it is, but once you get it right, it's so much fun. It's actually the first stage I actually got a world record on. It was pretty fun. Oh yeah, I didn't mention I keep jumping on slopes instead of going up them. It's faster to just jump on them. Like when you hit the slope, you just jump immediately. It's faster than going up the wall like normal. Now here I have to hit this drill things to destroy some destructible walls. Actually, I already shown that. I'm not paying attention to my own run. So here is the bane of casuals. This mini boss is brutal. Now here you see me. I can just manipulate his movement by just jumping in the direction he's facing. Normally it just jumps back and just starts shooting at you. There we go. So the problem with this boss is that those lasers that it shoots, they deal 2 full pellets of damage. And they're not exactly easy to avoid. Like sure, I made it look kinda easy, but I have 400 hours in this game, so... But yeah, when I first started playing this game, that mini-boss was the bane of my existence. And of many other players. I think everyone starting out gets stuck in that boss. Especially if they don't know about manipulating their movement, like I did. By holding it in place, it's very easy to kill. Normally I have to destroy those walls, but since Carol can just go up walls, I can just skip that. And I just missed skipping that loop, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't waste that many seconds. Now this room, this section is very annoying when starting out. I have to change the color of the switches to go through certain walls, which can be very frustrating if you're trying to go fast and you mistime it or something. So you can actually hit it twice by accident. So yeah, figuring out how to go through all these switches fast when starting out was very annoying for me. But what can you do? Every game is hard to speedrun when you start. I'm just gonna heal my bike. And I'm gonna use the wild kick to double jump combo again and miss it. There we go. We're almost at the boss. I just need to skip another wall of drills here. Just go up here, then go up here, and I just skip that entire wall. I don't know how to deal with all the troopers down there and the drills. Just gonna grab a couple pedals here, and you might remember this guy from Sky Battalion if you were paying attention. I didn't mention him because I'm not paying attention, but as you can see, while he's doing his dumb speech, I can just hit him. There's actually an achievement for doing that. Now, fighting this guy, as I said multiple times, that combat is better suited for the without the bike. This guy's the exception. If I don't have the bike, this boss is way more annoying to deal with, because you need that double jump and the boost to get him consistently. But that's the boss. Also, I have to be careful because since I've beaten this boss, but his projectiles still do damage. So if the projectiles are up and I kill him and I get killed, I have to do the boss again. It's very annoying. Right about here, I should be able to skip this, maybe, hopefully, I think. Pretty sure, yeah, I can skip this right here. Right here. Right here. Right there. Okay, so final Dreadnought. You'll see that it says round 1. It goes all the way to 4. This is pretty much the final stage, but it's separated in 4 different levels. It used to be one big level, but then Strife, the developer, decided not to do it like that and separated the thing in 4 different levels. They're really short, for the most part. This one, the first one, is really short. Now something you see me doing here is smash pounce, so I can just get off of that platform as fast as possible and get into the teleporter. Here you see me boost jumping, so I can avoid all the enemies and avoid getting hit and hitting them, because hitting them actually slows you down. So yeah, this stage is very fast-paced, and I have to be very careful not to do that specifically. And now I don't have a bike. Just like in Sky Battalion, there's only one bike in here. No, actually there's another one, but I always skip the other one. And the problem here is without the bike, the airlock section is very hard, because you have to wall climb very quickly, or else you go down and die. Normally with the bike I can just boost up the wall, but you know, that's not an option anymore. But it's fine, this stage is really short, so I should be done in about a minute or so. Need to go through all of these portals, and there's the... I'm gonna get through here. And that's the other bike right there, that gas can. I always ignore that gas can because fighting this next boss It's just like Robo Panther. It's always going right. And with the bike, it's a nightmare to get hits. But here I can just Wild Claw. And that's the first section of the final stage. Now we're moving to the second one. We're just gonna jump at this laser. There we go. And there are no cutscenes anymore, so I can just it'll put me straight into the next stage. So this is Final Burnout 2. There's no bike in this stage. So yeah, I have to go on foot the entire time. That box that I just destroyed, we call it the Dread box because it's a box in the Dreadnought and you basically need it. If you're playing Lilac, you fucking need that box. You wanna go fast into stage. That box skips so much. But as of right now, Carl can do it. And frankly, I don't wanna deal with it, so I'm not gonna attempt. So here we're at the... You're gonna recognize the squid from Thermal Base, he's back. Only here's way more annoying because of those poisonous plants down there. And those two guys shooting at me constantly. But if you deal with it quickly enough, it's not a problem. You're gonna see me constantly rolling in this section. That's because you can actually roll below those things. Oh boy, no. This part is not that bad to get right, but when it goes wrong, it goes so wrong.
You're forgetting something important. They don't need oxygen.
As turns out, they don't need oxygen. You wonder why he didn't do that from, like, I don't know, stage 1, but whatever. I'm not gonna question it. Here you'll see right there that she's Mila. I forgot to mention that she exists. She's kind of important. Anyway, she spawns the blue shields, the water shields that let you breathe underwater, even though we're not underwater, but video game. And as you can see, I can just wild kick through those lasers without any problem. It's only the lasers in Trap Hideout that have the exception. Everything else you can wild kick through. And here you'll see why I like this stage a lot. Because I'm pretty much like because of this. So here I'm basically skipping a whole elevator section. Like the entire elevator section, I can just skip it through this. By mashing pounds inside a wall. And here I'm just gonna restart here. Because there's like a cutscene in things where there's a transformation that actually wastes into game time, so we can just skip it and go straight to the boss. Now this boss is semi-random. It has a set pattern, but the amount of punches he does can be 2 or 3. And we're done with Final Burnout 2. So on we go to Final Burnout 3. Oh yeah, 1000 flat. That's funny. Anyway, Final Burnout 3. This stage is pretty good. It's extremely short, and there are bikes all over the place. So this is one of the most fun stages to run. Also, I avoid trying to kill those things, because if I kill them, the purple balls they have go all over the place, and they can hit me, and that's annoying. I don't want to hit me. Now here Brevin, as you can see, just activated a bunch of turrets. But there's no need to worry about him because I'm fast. Just ignore him. Now I'll skip another section of going back and forth and just do this and get a shield in the process. So this is the fire shield, I didn't mention it. The fire shield does damage on contact to enemies, and it makes me immune to fire, which is pretty nice. Now here you'll see me boost jumping all over the place. That's to avoid hit lag from running over enemies. And also, I got the right timing, so I could just jump all over the obstacles, which is nice. So yeah, we're almost done with the stage. It's very quick. A little bit longer. There we are. Just gonna get off the bike here. And this is a cutscene that I can't skip. It plays both on classic mode and adventure mode, so there's no escape. So remember when I said that Mila was important? Yeah, she's important. Very important. And yeah, I cannot skip this, so. So she's the boss of this stage. I have to kill her. You know, killing a 10-year-old girl, you know. Nothing wrong there. Nothing at all. This is totally not fucked up in the slightest. And the fact that I'm kind of efficient at it doesn't make it any worse whatsoever. Oh, and I busted her eye. That's nice. And we're done. You can actually keep damaging her if you're fucked up. You just do this. But I'm not gonna do it.
No.
He says as he did it, but whatever.
You've gotta be kidding me. That's it.
Spoiler, she doesn't really die, sorry. The game has been out for 2 years. Deal with it. And we're on to the final stage. This is a very vertical stage, which is good for Carol because of her wall climbing. I missed the second. So yeah, there's really nothing like important going on except now. Because here there's a skip that you can skip this entire section, but it's I have to stand in a very specific spot. There it is. And I can just do the same thing I did in Final Runner 2 and go to the right, and I skip that entire climbing section. The little thing I saved from a cage, that's an extra life, but we don't need those. Also, that laser kill that does a lot of damage, and I cannot wild kick through it, so I have to be very careful. And if I get hit by, I can actually survive it if I don't get hit the whole way. But if I were to get hit from the beginning, I'd die. Actually, I only have half health, so either way I would probably die if I tried. Now, since I was dumb and I didn't avoid the DNA cannons, I lost the metal shield that lets me wall climb through spikes. But what can you do? This is a no reset run, so. Can I be committed? So here's the final boss. Just gonna mash to the text. So this boss has 3 phases. You might recognize this one from Battle Glacier. It's kind of similar. I said kinda because he has a very slightly different moves, like those missiles. Also, you saw since I had the fire shield, I didn't have to hit him. I just needed to jump at him. And I'm gonna restart. This skips the animations of the thing blowing up and all that. I also lost my shield because I reset, but whatever. Now the problem with this phase is that it's entirely random as of right now. There's a new patch coming out in, I guess, a few weeks or maybe a month, where it has a set pattern for like the first 5 attacks. But it doesn't really matter because I kill him anyway. Now the final phase, it's just like the ship in Battle Glacier. This phase is the bane of every casual's existence. That knife attack that he just did, that I just wild kicked through, that does 4 petals of damage. It basically does half of your health, which is pretty absurd. And we're done with the game. But yeah, his knife does 4 petals of damage out of the 7 you have. It's pretty upsetting when it happens. But normally you can survive. You can actually survive 2 of them, because the way this game handles life, when you run out of health, your health bar starts flashing red, which means that you can still get hit 1 more time. I'm just gonna skip this and go straight to the credits. And there. Normally it would say the first, since we skipped 2 stages, they're not here. But there should be the first, it should say Dragon Valley, and then it should say Relic Maze. But they're not here because I skipped them altogether. And yeah, that's the game. $37.24. That's that's a time for sure. But yeah, that was Freedom Planet. There's a fucking June bug being annoying in my desk. That's nice. Anyway, that was Freedom Planet. Thanks for watching and have fun.